Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. We are going to read a story from Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood called Look for the Helpers. When I was a child, I used to watch Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Fred Rogers was such a wonderful influence on children. This is his advice. When I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, "Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping." To this day, especially in times of disaster, I remember my mother's words, and I am always comforted by realizing that there are still so many helpers, so many caring people in this world. Mr. Rogers. Daniel Tiger was with Dad Tiger when he saw dark clouds filling the sky. "There is a big storm coming to the neighborhood," Daniel said. "That's right," Dad said. "Our friends are coming to our house so they have a safe place to stay during the storm. It's part of our safety plan." Soon the sky became even darker. The rain went whoosh, and the loud thunder went boom. "I don't like storms," Daniel said. Daniel felt worried. Mom and Dad told Daniel, "Grown-ups are here to keep you safe." Then they sang, "Take a grown-up's hand, follow the plan, and you'll be safe." That made Daniel feel a little better. He wanted to know more about the plan. "The first part of our plan," Dad said, "is to find a safe place inside." Daniel felt much better now. His home was a safe place, so they went inside. Katerina Kitty Cat, O the Owl, and their families needed a safe place for the storm too. They came to Daniel's house for a family sleepover. Daniel wished it was sunny so they could play outside. "Do you want to make believe with me?" Daniel asked his friends. "Let's make believe that we're playing outside in all kinds of weather. So many seasons, so many ways to play. In the springtime, there are raindrops and puddles to splash in. In the fall, I can play all around in the leaves. In the winter, build a snowman and make a snow angel. Swim in the sunshine, enjoy the summer heat." "What's the next part of our safety plan?" Daniel asked. Mom said the next step was to make sure they had an emergency supply kit. Daniel found a flashlight, a first aid kit, and water. Then all of a sudden the lights went out. "Who turned off the lights?" Daniel asked. "Sometimes a big storm can make the lights go out," Dad said. "But we're right here and you are safe." Daniel sang, "Take a grown-up's hand, follow the plan, and you'll be safe." Even though the lights went out, Daniel and his friends still had dinner. Dad lit candles and made sandwiches for a terrific inside picnic. Soon it was time for bed. Katerina and O slept in sleeping bags in Daniel's bedroom. "I like having everyone around," Daniel said. "It makes me feel safe." Having a safe place to sleep was the last part of the emergency plan. In the morning, the rain stopped. The storm was over. Daniel looked out the window and saw tree branches and leaves on the ground. The storm had made a big mess. Dad Tiger said, "When I was young and I would see scary things, my mother would say to me, 'Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping.'" Later that day, it was safe for Katerina Kitty Cat, O the Owl, and their families to go back to their tree house. When Trolley had to stop in the road because of branches on the ground, Daniel was scared. Then he looked for the helpers. "Look for the helpers. Who do you see?" Daniel saw Mr. McFeely. He was helping pick up branches. "Thank you for helping, Mr. McFeely," Daniel said. The Tiger family went all around the neighborhood to make sure their other neighbors were safe too. "Look for the helpers. Who do you see at the castle?" Prince Wednesday and his family were helping by cleaning up. "Look for the helpers. Who do you see at the museum go round? Miss Elena and her mom were helping clean up the neighborhood, too. When Trolley reached the clock factory, Daniel and his family saw that a big tree had fallen down in front of it. Daniel was scared. Then he remembered the song he sang. Take a grown-up's hand, follow the plan, and you'll be safe. He reached for his dad's hand. Then he looked for the helpers. Look for the helpers. Who do you see? Daniel saw firefighters were helping move the tree. Even Trolley was a helper. Trolley pulled the tree away from the clock factory. Daniel was a helper too. He planted a new tree to help everyone remember how they helped the neighborhood after the big storm. The big storm was a little scary, but Daniel felt better when he looked for the helpers. There were a lot of helpers, Ugga-Mugga. Do you want to learn more about staying safe and about looking for helpers? Read on for some helpful advice from Daniel Tiger and friends. Staying safe every day. Even when there isn't an emergency, you can stay safe every day by wearing a seatbelt, staying with a trusted grown-up, wearing a helmet, and more. Can you think of other things you can do to stay safe? Staying safe in an emergency. Emergencies can be scary because they sometimes happen very suddenly, but there are things you can do before, during, and after an emergency to stay safe. Turn the page to learn more. Before an emergency, make a safety plan. Find a safe place to stay inside. This might be your home, or it might be a friend's or a relative's house. If the power goes out, you will need food on hand that doesn't need to be refrigerated to stay fresh, and you need to have lots of bottled water to drink. Whenever possible, try to stick to a routine. For example, once you're in a safe place, try to go to bed at the same time as usual. Make an emergency supply kit that includes warm blankets, extra clothing, sturdy shoes, toothbrushes, toothpaste, soap, flashlights with extra batteries, a hand crank radio, a first aid kit with bandages, antibiotic ointment, and also consider books and games to help pass the time, or your favorite stuffed animal or toy. It can be comforting. During an emergency, here are some things you can do if you get worried during an emergency. Take a deep breath. Listen, watch, and follow instructions. Hold on to a grown-up's hand. It's important to stay with a helper who will keep you safe. After an emergency, things might not be the way they used to be. It can take some time to get used to these changes. Here are some ways you can start to feel better. Use your words to describe how you are feeling. Are you scared, sad, angry, or lonely? You can also draw a picture that shows how you are feeling. If you are confused, ask questions. A grown-up will help you. Understand what happened during the emergency. Keep a routine like brushing your teeth after breakfast or singing a song before bed. Even if many things feel different, some things can stay the same. Another thing you can do after an emergency is to look for the helpers. Every day there are grown-ups who help keep you safe. Here are some people who can help with an emergency. Your parents or caregivers. They can help keep you safe at home. Doctors or nurses. They can help you if you are hurt. Firefighters. They can help put out fires and help clear dangerous objects from roads. Teachers. They can help keep you safe when you are at school. This is a great book for kids. Our world has seen some pretty scary stuff like floods, tornadoes, and fires. Let's all do our part to take care of the earth. And thank you so much for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye.